So in this video, I'm going to show you how to dimension your site. And really the only dimensions that I'm asking you guys to provide are to show me the dimensions of your property line, and then showing me where that landscaping buffer is. So you're going to have to actually do this in your site plan. And so, here, if you go to annotate, and the reason you have to do it in your site plan is so you can actually snap to like your property line. If you do an aligned dimension and you click those property lines and you go ahead and place, okay, and then to the other one, okay, that is perfect, especially if you have a rectangular property. That's honestly perfect as far as dimensioning the property line. The trickier part about this is dimensioning the landscaping buffer. So what I had to do is draw a detail line and trace the boundary. So if you guys know, detail lines are kind of just for you to use as a guide. And then what I did was I offsetted them the amount of landscaping buffer required depending on what was ever on the side. So if you go back to detail line, you can do an offset. I think my site was surrounded by like all locals and collectors, and so I'll just do a 25-foot offset for the landscaping buffer from this property line, from this property line, this property line, and this property line. Okay. Now yours might be different because you may have a local over here and a collector or an arterial. And so from here, what I did was I just connected these using this corner tool and made kind of just like a little offset boundary here. And then when I did that, I also changed all those line types to hidden lines, and you can see that they become green and they become dashed, and that's perfect, okay? And so you can change them to that hidden line type. So it kind of, I like it because it's green and it's dashed, and it kind of shows you like, hey, this is a landscaping easement. You can tell my site is not necessarily, like this parking lot probably shouldn't be within this landscaping buffer, but this is just for video instructional purposes. And then here, you can go in and create a dimension from here to here, like, hey, that's 25 feet. From here to here is 25 feet. From here to here is 25. And from here, just proving that, hey, I provided that buffer per the standards. Okay. And so you can see now on your sheet, all those dimensions are provided. Be careful in case you add some. As you can see here, my dimension is starting to overlap the title block, so I'm just going to scoot that down a little. So I just selected the viewport and literally I'm using the down key to just scoot it just slightly. That's perfect. Okay. So that's good. You have your landscaping buffer shown. You can also add, a label here saying, hey, this is my landscaping buffer. Okay. You can add that around because it's always good to provide that information. Like, hey, cool, that's 25 feet, but what does that 25 feet mean? So always providing clarity in that sense. Okay. Lastly, make sure you add labels without arrows on, like up here. Just tell me, is this a local road up here? Okay. Is this one over here? Maybe this is an adjacent commercial property. Okay. Tell me what is surrounding your property. You can add one over here. Maybe this is an arterial road. Okay, and then there you can rotate this vertical. Okay, it's common practice to keep it like, parallel to whatever the roadway is. Since that one's already rotated, I would just copy it over here and tell me what this is. Maybe this is another local road. Okay. So make sure you do that too, okay?